Welcome, sentient beings from all known universes and beyond. It's time to activate your cranial downlinks and prepare to receive a raft of discussion on a cosmic ocean of science fiction and fantasy topics, interviews with local area genre devotees, and insightful prognostication by our soothsayers of science fiction, our forecasters of fantasy, and any other beings that happen to get caught in our gravity well. This is the Galactic Driftwood Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Galactic Driftwood Podcast. I'm Bill.
I'm Linda.
I'm Charles.
I'm Seth.
I'm Chris.
And we're missing Jenna today. She's a little under the weather, I think. So hopefully she'll be back with us next time.
Hey, HIPAA. Let's not talk about that.
I said feeling under the weather. It's cloudy. We're all feeling under the weather.
Under it.
So today we're going to be talking about Suicide Squad, most recent version released. And we may reference some of the previous ones as well. So I know we have all watched it. And I guess, Chris, we'll start with you this time. What was your thought upon watching in the Suicide Squad, the most recent one?
So it was definitely a notch up in gore. I felt, especially right out of the gate. I found the movie pretty entertaining. I honestly liked it, although it took a lot of weird turns, and a little bit of it sounded like felt like a weird acid trip, right? Had a little bit of if anybody remembers, probably a decade ago now, that Sucker Punch movie that came out was a bit of a weird take and kind of all over the place, and Suicide Squad gave me a little bit of that vibe. They were just kind of interesting scenes that occurred in there. This smorgasbord of stuff here is pretty much what the movie kind of felt like. Although this is the first one, not the second one.
Right.
But it was good. I liked it. I thought it had really great action scenes in it. I enjoyed the fighting. It was, like I said, it was very funny. I was a little bit taken aback in kind of how the movie started by killing off, pretty much an entire squad of suicide guys in the most bizarrest manner ever. Then it kind of just takes off from there. So.
Also the characters from some of the characters from the first movie too.
Most of them, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
In addition to Nathan Fillion as TDK.
Yes. As short-lived as that was, yes.
The detachable kid.
Yeah.
That whole thing was ridiculous.
It was. And that kind of set literally in the first 5-10 minutes of the movie, they kind of set the mood for the entire thing. It's just going to be ridiculous. The detachable kid was just insane. Let me just detach my arms and slap a bunch of people in the face. And I'm somehow a superhero. In that right. So
and Dot Boy.
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man. That was weird.
Painful.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had some of the best gags out of the whole movie.
He did. And then he had Sylvester Stallone as the shark.
That was the shark.
I didn't realize that was Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, he was something else too. And I mean, what, did he have like 10 words the whole movie?
Yeah, pretty much. He reminded me of the Hulk.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
This lady here made the whole movie.
She did.
Margot Robbie was really good in this.
I think she was good in all of the films that she's done recently. I think she's kicked butt as Harley Quinn. So, she definitely is the one that propels the movie forward.
Yep.
And her attitude towards everything and is just crazy.
She saved it.
The only thing I thought that, I I guess not the only thing, but one of the things I thought that was the most ridiculous was the starfish
Yes.
creature.
Oh my God.
I did not see the movie going down that route at all.
Who would have?
And
And then
through
a
the
bunch
whole
of tiny starfish that it poops out or whatever.
yeah.
It's just disgusting.
Yeah, that
And
was
it flies in your face.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It kind of had overtones of Alien, where
It did a little bit in the most
facehuggers
disgusting way.
jump on your face, and
Yeah.
that was weird. Through the whole show, though, I'm wondering, okay, these guys are shooting it, in its arms and all this stuff, and I'm like, why doesn't anybody just shoot it in the eye? What are they?
I don't. Yeah,
and they were supposed to be, these
rocket
two guys
launcher
that
to the eye or something. But yeah,
two guys that are supreme marksmen, and talk about, one guy says, I hit everything in the bullseye, and he goes, well, I hit it even closer in the bullseye. Well, how can you do that? Well, I go right in the middle of the bullet, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And yet not one of them could shoot the freaking thing in the eye.
Well, in Peacemaker's defense, he was mostly dead by that point.
That's fair. But
Yeah.
by the time he gets to here, he is mostly dead at that point. I did like the quips about his attire and wearing a toilet for a head piece or whatever in there was pretty good.
Yeah.
John Cena plays him in this, and it's pretty good.
Well, I mean, as far as the shooting Starro in the eye, that's what Harley needed the spear for.
Yes. They obviously were purposely saving the eye shot for the end.
That's what let the rats into the eye.
Right. And then the rats. So the Harley Quinn's controlling the rats, this giant rat population.
No, that's the rat catcher.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Yep. Excuse me. And so at the end, she sends all the rats into the hole in the eye created by Harley Quinn when she jumps in with the spear. And so the rats dive into the eye, and of course it's all full of this ocular fluid, and the rats are swimming through it, which is fine. But then they go in and they start gnawing on the optic nerves and everything. And I'm like, okay, while they're doing this, how are they breathing?
I had the same thought.
So did you know, for the rats, that's a little bit crazy. For Margot, who plays Harley Quinn, did you guys know that she actually held her breath underwater for several minutes to film that scene?
No, I didn't know that.
She actually did professional training with a free diver to learn how to hold her breath up to 5 minutes.
Holy crap.
For this film.
Right.
And she's also doing it while acting. I mean,
Yes.
If I was in minute 2 of holding my breath, I wouldn't be looking like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have those eyes.
So there's an interesting interview she did on Hot Ones. When this was coming
There's
out.
a mascara.
Talks about that and a lot of the things that she had to deal with holding your breath, and how like you get to this point where you hit panic and you got to get past that. You get this point where you start convulsing, and then you learn that that's normal, and then you get past that, and then you're maybe good for another 30-40 seconds past that, and
Holy
then you
shit.
should definitely come up and get some air after that. It
Oh
was
my
pretty. I was like, why? But she took on a challenge and she did it, and I think it made some of those things a little bit more realistic. So crazy as it was.
Yeah, I don't know that I could do that.
Yeah, it made floating in the giant eye more realistic.
Right.
Yes.
Not that the whole scene itself, where the whole situation was just bizarro.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the rat
That's so cute.
rat lady was pretty interesting. This whole thing of I don't know a lot of the history on the Suicide Squad per se, or what a lot of the heroes how far their powers range, but this basically says anyone that's been experimented on and has special abilities at some point is eligible to become a hero in the Suicide Squad.
But don't you have to be
one?
Don't you have to be like a criminal first?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, that wasn't how the first one, the 2016 one, they were all hardened criminals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
It-
the
Here
deal
they
is-
probably were too, but it was it was hard to see exactly how the rat, they didn't go into their stories as much, I don't
Right.
think.
Yeah, they're crime stories.
Yeah,
Right.
There were a couple backgrounds.
Yeah, and of course, the way that they get them to cooperate, these hardened quote superhero convicts, is by putting this explosive charge in the base of their skull. And if they get out of line, they can just the people that are running the show,
Amanda Waller. Yeah.
can just push the red button and blow their heads off. And
So-
I love the fact that the red button explosive charge supposedly works wherever, even though communications don't necessarily work because of
That's what they told them.
Mhm.
jamming in the area, right? I'm like, yeah, hello, make your walkie-talkies out of the same communications technology you use for the head bolts, right?
Yeah.
But and then at the end, they get this hard drive that's got all these files on it that shows that America was working to
Yeah.
grow this starfish and experiment on it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. America's dirty secrets.
Yeah. So they're holding it hostage in order to be able to do what they want without having their heads blown off. My first rule would have been, the first thing you're going to do is pull that fucking explosive charge out of my head, or I will release the tape. And then, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to, like, how much do you want them to, like, do you want to go back to them to have it removed from your head?
Well,
I would assume that in this world, they should be able to find someone that can remove it.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
I suppose.
Within time.
Yeah.
There's plenty of supervillain doctors who'd be more than happy to remove that from their head for a modest fee.
Especially if they can take it and put it in someone else's head.
What
Here,
they
does
did
that
play with-
help?
Good point.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. I think they nailed the personality perfect for the shark to match one. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reminded his mannerisms and his lack of speech and stuff reminded me so much of the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
King Shark was one of my favorite parts of this movie. And Katie came in towards the end of it, and she's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "That's King Shark. Do you want to know what his deal is?" She's like, "Sure." I was like, "It's a man who's a shark."
Wow, so helpful.
I want to touch back on something with Amanda Waller. So in the first Suicide Squad movie, they show how ruthless she can be. There's a scene where when they finally get there to pick her up, and she goes in, she kills everyone else in the room, and she's just like this cold-hearted person that's just like, I'm here to get rescued now. You guys are no longer needed. I'll just shoot you in the face and be done with it. And in this one, she's still the same cold-hearted person, right? And I think there was a missed opportunity here in the movie, because there's in this, she's always threatening the Suicide Squad's family or their children or whatever, or threatening to kill them. She's real quick on the trigger button to blow their heads off. And at one point, her team around her is like, whoa, we got to stop her. She's losing her mind. So they whack her over the head and knock her out. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because the Suicide Squad's trying to make something happen, and they're not following her direct orders. And so she's getting ready to pull the trigger and blow their heads off.
Yeah.
And she gets knocked out. Now
She gets knocked out with a golf club.
Right.
But
She
she
gets
was
knocked
using
out
her
with a
Hit her
golf
in the
club.
head with a golf club, and she
Now-
lives.
Yes. Well, what should have happened, okay, because we were talking about the whole, they find this hard drive to make a deal with her, right? What should have been happening is during that scene, they should have been painting the room, and every one of them in there should have had a bullet in their head.
Right.
Instead
Yeah.
of her team being alive, she would have killed every single person in that room
Right.
for knocking her out.
Right.
And that would have solidified that that's just how cold-hearted she is. Because they've already shown her do it once, and it would have just been funny if she killed another team of people, and I think that would have been an excellent thing to write in there. Is just her sitting at the desk, with an ice pack on her head, and they're making a deal over the hard drive, and they pan across the room, and there's a whole bunch of dead team members because they betrayed her. They stabbed her in the
Right.
back.
Right. Yeah, that would have
Made
really
sense.
painted her as a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But they didn't do it. So
No.
I was like, how is that person alive after whacking her over the head?
Right.
A golf club? Eh.
Maybe she got
I don't know,
a
the person
promotion.
that swung the golf club. How's that
For
person
all
still
we know,
alive?
that could be what Amanda Waller views as
Oh, yeah.
leadership material.
It's just true too. Yeah.
I want you.
Well, the other thing they left out, if I remember right, in the 2016 Suicide Squad, Harley had the bomb removed and then came back, right? Because she wanted to play with her friends.
In prison.
It got deactivated and she came back,
Deactivated,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And
She wanted to
so
play with her friends in prison. Is that what you're saying?
no. She wanted to. She escaped with. She had the bomb deactivated.
Yeah.
Escaped, and then came back because her buddies. You know, she wanted to be with her buddies.
Well, she didn't come back directly. What happened was they shot the plane down when she was trying to escape with the Joker.
Right.
And she thought he died in the plane crash or something like that. And then when they were continuing on or whatever, they happened to run across on the road, and she was like, "Hey, I'm not really up to anything else anymore. Can I come back and hang out with you guys?"
Well,
yeah, I would have figured if it was deactivated, I would have disappeared. I wouldn't have gone back.
Well, right, but she's a different character. She kind of wants. She doesn't like being bored. Right?
Yeah, she's the
No,
she
chaos
doesn't.
character.
And so, in the beginning of the second one, I think I would have had her just there for kicks also for some reason.
Mhm.
They made up an excuse that she got caught for something, but
Yeah.
she should.
Yeah,
be
she could have strolled in
Batman.
at some reason for some. Yeah, they could have come up with a better reasoning than I got caught again or something.
I do have to say, I at least so the 16 Suicide Squad bothered me because of the bad guy, which was just some entity, Egyptian something,
Mhm.
right? Godlike person.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And this one at least was
Still just as
had
bad.
some
Just say
limits.
it.
Still just as bad, but
Well, yeah, it's comical, but at least
it was comical.
it was comical. At least, yeah.
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 Let's just say two of the show watchers had to drink while they watched it just to get through it.
Oh, really? No, I didn't think that. It's cute. It's
Only
a cute
two?
show.
One of the
Only
show
two.
watchers was drinking but not to get through it.
Oh,
Right.
So
Zach
what
and I
did
had to drink to get through it. Yeah.
What do you guys feel about them killing off Flag?
Mm.
That I did not see that coming. He's that's like them going, well, how are we going to organize our sequel without our
Yeah, the one guy who kind of pulls the team together. Yeah, I don't know. I was disappointed in that, and I thought I had a glimpse of hope that in the end credit scene when they're talking about somebody survived the whole ordeal, and I thought maybe it would be Flag there in a hospital bed, and then when it turns out to be Peacemaker, I was kind of disappointed in that. But yeah, I don't know. He was one that I think was growing to be like a perfect fit for the team. He knew how to kind of interact with everybody from a comedic standpoint, and he got the sarcasm. I think he was spot on. So I was kind of disappointed that he kind of gets killed. It makes sense given all the what I want to say, weird supernatural things they keep coming across. He's only mortal, I mean, most of them, I guess, to some extent are only mortal, but he doesn't have any unique superpower, So yeah, I don't know. I was definitely disappointed on that. I was definitely surprised I didn't see that coming. But yeah, I was wondering how you guys felt about that. That was probably my biggest shocker in the whole movie.
Yeah, that shocked me. I thought he had plot armor.
Mm-hmm.
But instead they
maybe he wants out.
they gave him the
That's true. I guess I haven't seen any of what his interviews are of the show. But he does so well in them. I don't know.
Yeah, I liked his character.
Yeah.
Right.
I did not see.
He does well in other shows too, though.
Yeah, he's in Altered Carbon. I liked him in that a lot. I've seen him in a couple other detective shows too. Some where he's a drug addict and stuff like this. I've really liked him as an actor, and I didn't really get familiar with who he was until maybe the last 4 or 5 years. So I get excited whenever I see him in anything these days. I really enjoy him as an actor. So I don't know. I would have hoped to see him in more Suicide Squads, but maybe it wasn't meant to be. I don't know. But the one thing they did set the tone for sure is you cannot get attached to anyone except maybe Harley Quinn in the series. So,
and what's the deal with that Weasel character?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Did anyone check to see if he could swim? Yeah, that part cracked me up. They're like the very beginning of the movie. You know, the first mission is drop in on this island and try to take out these guys or sneak in or whatever, and they jump out of this plane, land in the water, and everybody's swimming along, and the weasel starts drowning, and they're like, "Wait, he can't swim? Well, now he's dead. He drowned."
Yeah. Oops.
I was like, whoa, okay, so one man down and, we're a few minutes in. Okay.
Yeah, that was always a
okay.
weird character. They never established like what the weasel could do aside from just like being creepy and weird.
Right.
Right.
And he killed a bunch of children. Is that his backstory?
Yeah.
Right? And
I'm guessing ate them.
yeah, I'm guessing he ate them. Yeah, that weird weasel. So whatever it is, they could
See,
figure out what they wanted to do.
I think
He
it would have
does
been better.
survive in the end.
Yeah, I think it would have been better with a backstory where you felt for him first.
Mhm.
Like the first Suicide Squad, they did a backstory for just about everybody, I thought.
Yeah, they had little bits for everybody. Even if it was 20 seconds, they gave everybody a little bit of a story.
And then, so that when their heads blew up, you felt for them a little bit.
Right.
Well, I think with this one, I think they still did a good job with character building it. They didn't have to like go through long backs, like a flashback or anything, but you got to know that like you find out that Polka Dot Guy has a condition, something
Right.
where
Obviously.
he's got these things growing on his face and he's obviously not happy and not sane.
And
And
he's
as
gotta
you go through the movie, you find out more and more about that without a flashback. And then
And
when
he's got
he
to
dies,
expel
you're
them
sad.
every so what? He's got to expel them a couple times a day, those polka dots, or he explodes.
Yeah, twice a day.
Mhm.
I
This was
can't
my-
remember what happens if he doesn't.
This was my favorite scene from the weasel.
Yeah, they're walking
just
by
like
and he's just
licking the
over there looking the window.
It's just Linda's favorite scene because of the length of the tongue.
Oh, whatever. Sicko. 12-year-old boys. What are you
But
gonna
I
do?
mean, we find out we got history on the rat catcher.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
really need to know what Deadshot's deal is, but he's humanized to us through his daughter and eventually and just kind of his struggle with the other characters and trying or figuring that he can finally do the right thing.
Now, here's a question I've got for you. So, the first team that goes onto the island, they pretty much all get wiped out. And except for the one guy who doesn't get killed, the weasel drowns. They leave him on the beach.
So you think, yeah.
So you think. And then the other guy, what was the guy that ran away, swam away, and got his head blown off by the? Was that blood? Savant, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, this is fucking nuts because he sees everybody else getting pretty much torn limb to limb.
Mhm.
So he decides, I'm getting the F out of here. So he runs back in the water and starts swimming away. And they say, you better go back. You better go back. He doesn't. So they blow his head off.
Yeah.
Now, at that point, they believe that the entire team is dead. Now, if you were that woman in the command center, just as a matter of routine, everybody you think is dead, wouldn't you automatically just detonate their cranial implant,
Yeah, you would
blow their
figure.
head off, rather than just leave them lay there and assume they're dead? Because she's got no
Well-
way to verify they're dead.
Well, she didn't. Well, they did have like the monitors on their health, kind of, where you could see their things red or green or whatever, whether they're alive or dead.
Uh-huh.
But technically, they were. I think they allude to they were only meant to be kind of a diversion, because when you have the other crew that shows up on the island on
Right.
another beach, which was just downright wrong, to do that to the team. So.
Yeah,
I mean,
But
if
yeah,
Rick
you would think
Flag-
if they're done, you would just go ahead and flip all the switches.
You
and-
don't
Yeah.
leave evidence of superheroes or supervillains behind.
Right.
You just
Yeah,
don't.
if you're Rick Flag, you don't you realize that Waller fucking sold you out?
Mm-hmm. You would think so. You would think he would be hell bent. But again, he's dead, so it doesn't matter now.
But
And
would he
maybe-
think that she sold him out? Because that one guy said that he was the one that, betrayed them and he was
Oh,
running
that
towards
is-
the enemy forces, right?
Oh, you know what? That's true. Yeah, because he did run up on the beach. It's like, hey guys, I'm here. These are the guys. That's true.
And then he gets shot in the face. Very,
Very
very
graphically.
viscerally.
Yeah.
Let's talk for a moment about this guy. Poor Peter Capaldi.
Oh yeah.
I was going to bring him up. Yeah.
I liked his character, the brain.
Look at those things sticking out of his head.
It would be hard to
Yeah.
sleep like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be a really hard, it would be very
Yeah.
difficult to find a comfortable position.
Yeah. With giant
Ow.
things that look like
Ow.
vacuum tubes sticking out of your cranium.
I think he did a good job.
He did a very good job.
He
As
did
al-
a good
as
job.
always.
I liked his approach in the scene where they go pick him up in the bar, and he walks in, and he's just kind of like, it seemed like a little bit nervous or sketch when he walks in. Has anyone noticed me or anything like that? Goes sits down in the bar or whatever before the guys pick him up. But yeah, I think he played that very well for who he was.
I'll tell you, at that point, when Peter Capaldi walked into the show and became a part of the show, that coupled with the giant starfish alien creature made it seem exactly like a Doctor Who episode to me.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
You
The
just
whole
thought
rest
he
of it was
should
like a
appear-
Doctor. The whole rest of it was like a Doctor Who episode. The Shark Man could have been an alien from Shark Planet. They all could have been aliens from somewhere around the galaxy. Nefarious aliens, of course, but still aliens. Helping him defeat this starfish creature before he gets back into the blue box and heads off somewhere. And there he is, as the Doctor, and there he is as the brain.
And
When the-
Harley
put up
Quinn
the
becomes the next companion.
Yes,
Exactly.
Yes! that would have been awesome. So
She-
I can't believe
Every
he shaved his
episode he
hair for
catches
that
her
role.
trying to steal the TARDIS.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would have been awesome. That's that for me at that point. Once I viewed it through the prism of a Doctor Who episode, suddenly everything made sense.
That's
See,
all. It took.
I think that there was one relationship through that just carried through the movie that made the whole thing.
What was that?
That was between Bloodsport and Sebastian trying to win him over. The little rat
Oh yes,
Oh.
right,
shirt.
right, right. And at the end, he's petting the little rat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought for
that
sure
is
he was
the
gonna
emotional
pet it.
core of the movie right there.
I expected him to
This-
pat it and then grab it around the neck and throw it at a wall.
This friendly little rat trying to make friends, offering him a leaf, waving happily. Look, I'm cute. I want to be your friend. And slowly his cold heart thaws and he gives in to love.
Yes. And they do give backstory, by the way, into why he doesn't like rats.
Yeah.
So yeah, they explain why he had such a phobia of them.
So I can see Charles in the role of the Rat King.
Taika Waititi?
Yeah,
What's that? Yeah.
So
Yeah, the
Katie,
rats were cute.
yeah.
Katie pointed out at the end that instead of traumatizing Bloodsport, the rat
Mhm.
catcher could have just had her rats avoid him as opposed to run over him.
Right.
Yeah, there was some overall I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It was definitely not at all what I expected. Nowhere near
I can safely say that here as well.
Yes.
nowhere near what I expected. But when we got to the end, even Gina was sitting there. It's like, wow, that was not. I did not see that coming. However, we both again enjoyed it for what it was. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
It was visually stunning. As a buzzword, but it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, I really liked the scene where Harley was escaping from the detention center or whatever,
Yeah.
and the flowers were just bursting out
Yeah.
anytime she would shoot someone.
And that was that alludes to
That
like
was
the
hilarious.
acid trip thing I was talking about earlier, where it was just kind of like, what is happening right now?
and the little birds that were flying around.
Yeah. Yeah. If you happen to be doing edibles while watching the movie, not imagining things that's really happening in the movie.
That's
really
probably
happening.
who the movie's really made for. That's probably the 10 out of 10 effect.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, I loved the art direction of this movie, like how they kind of broke it up into story chunks with the weird lettering that would be in smoke or
Yep. Yeah.
put
Kind of
together
like.
out of the scenery.
Mhm.
Yep.
Like I was really happy with all that.
I
Mhm.
don't like the fact that they went in and torched the birds.
Now that, yeah, I can see that. I'm guessing that earned the movie an F from you right there.
And that's where nobody was spared in this. No creature,
Right,
no
yeah.
person, nobody was spared. There is no special person. Everyone's going to get blood on them in one way or another.
Right.
So
Right. All right.
Yeah,
So
King Shark was betrayed by his new friends. Poor King Shark.
he was?
Yeah, those little fish.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was making friends in that little aquarium thing, and then
All of
the
a sudden
fish
they're
all
like-
tried to kill him.
Right.
Little piranha things.
Right.
I like how he's prancing. New friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden
their
they're
friends
like,
are trying to eat you alive, buddy.
Yeah.
And that was hilarious for whatever reason. Like, when those fish get out and they start gnawing away at them, and I just started laughing hysterically because I was like, oh, he finally had some fish friends, and now they're all trying to eat him alive.
And
Uh,
then the bombs go off, or the bomb.
Yep.
Then the building collapses, and he's like down there, and they're like, "Shoot him!" And they shoot and shoot and shoot, and there's no.
Yeah. Is he like invulnerable because they shoot him with machine guns? I mean, there's like a whole
He's
cordon of
not
troops there firing at him, and it just doesn't do anything.
like we see the fish bite him and like wound him, but I'm pretty sure not invulnerable, but bulletproof.
Mhm.
yeah, definitely was bulletproof.
Otherwise, I mean, why is he in any sort of supermax? What police officer isn't just gonna?
Right. But the bullets don't bounce off of him. They actually hit him.
Well,
go in
yeah,
him.
but they go.
Yeah, it's kind of like they just thud and then.
I mean,
fall
they
to the ground or
probably
whatever.
make him mad, which isn't ideal for anyone shooting him.
Yeah, they did find that out. Don't anger the shark.
Right.
Yeah, he'll just gobble you up whole.
The one thing I found hard to believe was when he ate that one guy whole.
oh,
I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's
where
not
is
visually
he?
that big to do that, but apparently,
Yeah. Because
Apparently
the
he made
guy
it
he's
last-
eating
made it
is as
happen.
big as he is. And he just opens his mouth and eats him whole. And where is he stuffing him? Down one leg? I mean, does he fold up when he gets inside of his stomach? Or
Bill,
what?
sharks don't have legs.
This one does.
Look at this.
He's not as big as him. I mean, he's maybe.
Well, he's as tall and he's going in.
maybe we're
vertically.
underestimating the size of his stomach. That this is all stomach. Just
Huh.
yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah.
But he's very dead.
I
Okay,
figured,
I
I
did.
figured he was gonna, stuff as much of the guy into his mouth at once as he could, and then bite down and cut him in half. But
That-
he didn't. He just opened his gullet and just shoved the whole thing in.
And I
That's
think
like
that's
center
probably
of the
why they
donut.
did it. Is like you weren't expecting the whole guy. You were
Like the
expecting.
donut.
It's like
That,
center of
that
a
picture
donut. He
reminded me of the scene when so after the whole beginning fiasco with them on the island, they find out that Flag's been captured, or so they thought, and they go in to rescue him, and Bloodsport and Peacemaker are having a competition over who can kill the next guy in the most awesome fashion, who can show off
Oh,
the
yeah.
most. And I thought that was pretty comical as they're killing these guys left and right. And oh yeah, watch this kind of thing going on. And then they get to Rick Flag, and it turns out that they weren't the bad guys.
Yeah, they were
They were
just
actually
killing
helping him.
allies.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What? Where's all my men?" I don't know. I didn't. Did you see
We
anybody?
didn't
I
see
didn't
any
see anybody
guys.
Yeah.
Oops.
either. And the shark comes in. Blah.
Yeah. Right.
Let me cough up this guy's hand. My bad.
So generally speaking, pretty good show.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yep.
All right. So 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up. How do you rate it? 2 thumbs.
Would
give it a-
watch again.
I'll give
Yeah.
it a
We'll
1.
watch again.
Charles, 2 thumbs,
No,
1
it's
thumb.
It's a good show despite all the problems.
So one thumb.
Sounds like one thumb.
Any thumbs at all?
No, it's fun. If you want a fun show, that you don't have to look, and you probably shouldn't look too deep into. This is a good one.
So you're saying 2 thumbs then?
Yeah. I enjoy it. One in the eye.
One in the eye and the other one.
Okay. What you do with the other thumb is up to you, Bill.
Yeah. All right. You want to come over and watch it with me, Seth?
The movie?
Yeah. I've got a spare
No,
thumb.
Long as we can see the thumbs. You keep your thumbs to yourself.
All right.
I feel
Sounds
like
good.
I need to talk to HR. Linda, I feel like I'm being harassed.
I'm not HR.
You're the
afraid
closest
you
thing
are.
we've got to HR, Linda.
Great.
All right. Well, cool. Well, thank you all for watching. We encourage you to check out Suicide Squad. It's good if you're looking for a movie for a laugh. You don't have to think too hard about it. Just relax and enjoy it with your friends for what it is. Pretty
There is a
entertaining.
splash zone.
There
Yes.
you go. And check out our other shows. Visit us on our website, galacticdriftwood.space, and check out our sister and brother podcasts on synergynation.net, synnation.net. And I guess that's
Yeah,
it
I
for now.
understand. The Weekly Geekly is doing Dr. Ravenwood's
Horror
I get it.
Fest or something.
Dr. Ravenwood Slasher Files.
Ooh.
Kind of a audio drama type thing that I've been listening to. It's
Oh,
very
nice.
good.
All right.
So check out the Weekly Geekly.
If
They
you're
do
into
some
horror.
good stuff there, and if you like horror movies, Dr. Ravenwood Slasher Files are a lot of fun. It's
Sounds good.
It's this parallel universe doctor kind of going through the various slashers from our universe who actually exist in his universe,
Interesting.
and like breaking them down and determining if they're irredeemable souls.
Which is desirable in his universe.
No, they're killing people over there.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. We will catch you next time. Take care. Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Galactic Driftwood Podcast. For more information and past episodes, please visit our website at galacticdriftwood.space or subscribe to us on YouTube. And now, please deactivate your cranial downlinks, collect your towels, and be sure to watch your step as you exit our gravity well.